waiting for it to show up on my phone that we're actually live. And double check the audio. Go ahead and talk about some funny, messed up stuff if you want, Guts, and Heavy just weigh in on it. They usually talk about how white I am, or some goofy thing and funny, embarrassing thing right in the beginning.
Just some stupid shit. Oh man, that's fucked up. On today's episode of the Gamers Podcast, Point of View Podcast, whatever the fuck it's called, that's some fucked up shit.
Say something, Heavy?
Say fuckity fuck. You probably don't have your voice set. Well, you know, you do another podcast. You should be set to share. God damn, I have to slow down.
Yeah, I don't think you are. Yeah, set your voice to share. Alright, so while Heavy figures that out, and we've got serious again, I'm gonna bust his chops. Yeah. He's got company over the house. You're running out of excuses, Sirius.
Check.
Look, Crimson's running around his house because he's got carbon monoxide alarms going off, and he's got the fire alarm there, or fire department there. Let's hope he survives the night and gets on here soon. So it'll be me, Guts, and our special guest tonight, Heavy. Heavy, do you want to... do you get your voice set right now? Hold on, let me make sure that that's set right before we start conversating here, because it'll be a one-side weird conversation otherwise.
Should be, because I just...
It's not one-sided, you can talk to me. Fuck. Oh, damn, I'm nothing.
Well...
Watch it. Don't let me get the coat hanger out and finish you off.
Shit, many have tried, few have succeeded. Wait, what?
Wait, how have they succeeded?
Alright, it's working.
I think it works
it's
that
working.
way.
No, by one-sided I meant like if I talk to Heavy, and then every time he's responding, you know what I mean, it's like dead air. Like, you know what I mean? That
I
part
agree.
of the conversation. Yeah. Oh, jeez. Alright, so Heavy, why don't you tell us a little bit, give us a little background. Do you have any, are you a YouTuber, are you a Twitch streamer, are you just a gamer? Like, what's up?
Right now I'm just kind of a gamer. You know, on the other podcast with Crim, and just kind of been thrown down through the different generations of consoles as well as on PC. So, been all around the block when it came to the gaming universe. I tend to stalk gaming news, especially around games like Division or Destiny or now Rainbow Six Siege.
Interesting. I'm the opposite. I hate spoilers and shit. I won't even like watch a lot of the dev streams.
I mostly follow for like the updates and the patch notes.
Infamous fills me in on that shit.
I try to avoid the spoilers too. However, thanks to many different social media posts, it's sometimes hard.
Yeah, it
or
definitely
you have that
can be.
one friend that likes to tell you them even though they know you don't like it.
Yeah.
Not naming names, but if you're listening, you know who the fuck you are.
Ooh, that sounds personal.
Well,
oh no, he's a real life friend.
Well, in case you didn't figure it out yet, guys, tonight's episode is going to be all about Division 1 and Division 2, the Ubisoft game. I myself have played the Division 1, never played the Division 2. We'll get into more details on that later. Our guest here tonight, Heavy, has played both. Crimson, if he makes it on, has played both. And Guts here has played neither, but has familiarized himself with the game. And we could ask him later on why he never decided to pick it up and stuff like that. We'll get into those details. We could start off with our first talking point here with Heavy. Heavy, did you watch the mini-series on the game?
No, actually I did not.
Were you aware of its existence?
No, the only one I was aware of was the short Agent Origins film on YouTube.
Okay, yeah, that's what I meant.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the Agent Origins thing. So you seen that?
Yeah, I've seen one episode of it, the one that always pops up whenever I would watch Division videos.
Okay. So did you did you pre-order the game?
No, I came into it late. I came in at 1.3.
Can you give? I'm not familiar with when the updates came out. So how many months had the game been out by then, roughly? Do you know?
Oh God, I want to say
Rough guess.
3-4 months maybe, because I think that was back with the Vector Dark Zone meta.
I'm still running the Vector right now on my guy. That's my. I have the Vector is my main, and then I have the Pecan and the Damascus pistol. Those are the weapons I'm running. Pecan, whatever.
Yeah, that weird RPK 74.
For the Pecan or for the
Pecan.
Let me see if I could figure out how to even check that. Yeah,
I think it's an LMG, so I think it's like an exotic version of the RPK 74.
Yeah, it is an exotic. It just says Pecan. I can't see anything more specific about it.
I'd have to go check that in my. It's a little detail that I'm always kind of paying attention to. I kind of wish they would have done more with some of the less used exotics in this game.
So you didn't pre-order and you didn't play it release. Did you stick with the game through all of its DLC leading up to Division 2? Or did you play for a little while and then get away from it? And
No, the only time I ever got away from the Division was when The Witcher 3 came out.
When what came out?
Witcher 3.
Okay.
And I took about a 2-3 month break to grind out everything I could in that game. But for the most part, I've been a pretty religious Division player. At least back then when I was on PC. Now that I'm on console again, I've been floating between different series.
Okay. So what other games do you play besides Division?
Destiny, definitely, because, I seem to be attracted to grindy games.
Okay. 1 and 2?
Yeah, 1 and 2. Didn't play either of them when they came out, but I did get Destiny 2 on a free weekend and just kind of fell in love with it. So, been
this is an acceptable answer.
Making one of my staples.
So, let me ask you this: if they both had a DLC at the same time, which one do you play?
Division.
Okay. That's the opposite of me. This is actually the first time. It's not a DLC for Destiny, but Destiny has the Solstice summer event, and right now going on, and I'm kind of disappointed in the way they've done it this year and some of the things that's happened. And GTA Online is like my other main game. That has a new DLC, and they both dropped on the same day. And I'm kind of into the GTA right now. I'm not really feeling the Solstice event. Got some real salt going on with it. We'll get into that next week on next week's episode. We're going to do a split episode talking about GTA Online's new DLC and Destiny's Solstice event.
Nice.
So, let's see. Do you like the PvP or the PvE better in the Division?
Definitely the PvE. The PvP to me has always been very janky. Especially in the first game, because the chicken dance is very real.
What do you mean exactly by the chicken dance? Like side to side strafing, rolling, dodge rolling? What?
the whole like the strafing, like when you go and if you notice how some people kind of constantly are just moving their joysticks left right, and then they're just constantly like strafing left and right within a very small area to where
That's
you
like
can't really
all
hit
PvP
them.
games now.
Trying
dude.
to
That's like
trying to throw your aim off. Yeah.
PvP 101.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and it was just worse in. To me, it seems like it's worse in the Division PvP, and it's just not rewarding.
The PvP's not rewarding specifically?
Yeah, it's really not. Like, it's fun, but I can only go manhunt so many times before I'm just sitting here like, well, I'm bored.
For those who may not know it, what do y'all mean by manhunt?
Okay, in the PvP area, in the Dark Zone, not the dedicated PvP area, but you can go flag up as a rogue agent and start taking down anybody who is either another rogue that's not in your squad or just regular agents trying to farm for gear.
And it's a pain in the ass.
And hello, Crimson!
It's a pain in the fucking ass. Hi, how's everybody doing?
Alright.
Sorry about that, fire department came. Heavy, that stove is going to be the death of me one day.
You might want to buy yourself a new stove then.
Do you want to buy me a new stove? That'd be nice.
Sir, I am a lowly security guard. I do not make that kind of money.
So that's what was wrong? Your stove was messed up?
Dude, ever since my lady set the stove on fire, it has been nothing but issues.
It's time for a new stove. She lit it on fire, dude.
Maybe it's time for a new lady. I didn't say that.
Damn.
No, you didn't. I'd have to find you, sir. We're in the same city.
Oh shit.
How'd she light it on fire? What happened?
She was making something in the broiler, and I guess she put too much oil, and it caught the whole damn thing on fire.
Ah.
That's gone. We have carbon monoxide detectors going off. The stove consistently smokes.
Mm-hmm.
I think we might have damaged the gas piece
stove
into
or
the
electric?
wall.
It's gas.
Gas.
You rent?
I would not trust that thing.
Yeah.
So it's the landlord's stove or what?
This is a stove that we actually just recently got not that long ago.
Oh, okay.
From management, but you know, it happens. Stuff happens.
Mm-hmm, sure does.
Who am I joining on?
Nobody's on me yet, so I mean, you guys can join on. If you're able to join on me and then invite him, I don't even remember how to invite people or nothing.
That's okay. He'll see me, and then he'll join me, and I'm joining your group now.
Can I, like, promote you to host when you join me or something?
If you want.
I mean, dude, I don't remember how to do, like, anything. I'm struggling, like, just walking around shooting dudes that are just in the regular world. I just died.
What button fires again?
Yeah.
Oh, about to feel real bad.
I'm sorry. I'm sure there was a question asked. I'm sorry for my interruption. Sorry, fellas. I had a little bit of an emergency. Sorry, stream.
Oh, it happens.
At least you showed up.
This is fucking shade. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I gave it to Sirius pretty hard when we first started the episode.
Is Sirius in here?
No.
Nope.
No. Okay.
He's not here to defend himself, thus the shade was thrown. So let me ask you the questions that I asked Heavy. First of all, did you watch what was it, the web series you said, Heavy, or YouTube miniseries?
The YouTube video, the Agent Origins.
Oh, those were good. Those were pretty good.
So you watched them then?
Yeah.
What was your hype level coming into the Division?
Coming into the first game?
Yeah, like, were you all amped up? Did you think this was like, we saw those trailers where, you know, they're going into the subway and they're like using this tech and everything, and like you see the outlines of the people, you know, the orange outlines, and you hear them talking and stuff. and how they can leave like the echoes of things that have happened in the past. And you know,
I want to say my hype for the Division in general came from the immediate fucking trailers.
Okay.
That's where my hype for the Division came from, and it wasn't for any other reason than, oh look, a game I can play with people. I'm happy. So I'm simple. What did I just do? Okay.
I just made you host.
That's all it was for me, and then I ended up playing the entire game solo.
But did you play? So you played from the beginning, or?
Yeah, I played from Division 1.
Day one. Okay. Did you
pre-order? Yeah, from day 1 on release.
Played it release.
Pre-ordered everything. I really enjoyed the Division.
Did you keep playing through DLC and everything, or did you hop back and forth? Because I know you play Destiny 2 as well, like I do, and Heavy said he did. It does.
See, I played both Destiny and the Division from the beginnings. From pre-release, pre-order, whatever you want to call it. I was in betas for both games. It was fun. I did play through DLCs, but I did not save all of my data for this game and had to redo it all, so yay me.
That's always rough.
That's when you quit a game.
Yeah, so I had to redo. I'm still redoing everything here in Division 1. Whenever Heavy wants to run through with me and has the time.
Hey, you just let me know, dude. You know I'm always down for some Division.
Yeah, but overall the game's like, it's pretty solid. It's pretty fun. And there's a lot to talk about.
Are you more into the PvP or the PvE?
I'm a PvEer.
Okay. What about in Destiny? PvP. What are you?
I'm a PvEer.
Okay.
I don't mind PvP. I'm not bad at it. Certainly not amazing at it, but I'm not bad at it.
Same.
PvE is just fun.
Before any of the DLC came in Division 1, like when you finished the vanilla game and you know what the end game was that was there, were you satisfied with the game, or were you feeling like, okay, they need to bring out some DLC and bring it out like now? Like where was your head at that time, if you can remember?
Oh my god, this game has had such a long and arduous journey.
As Destiny. Yeah.
I love the gameplay for the Division. I've always been a big fan of gameplay. After the initial story, I said to myself, fuck this game, because that final mission was some shit. Solo.
Thank you.
The one where we fought the helicopter?
Was that the final mission? That wasn't the final.
That was a boss fight. Yep. I remember fighting a boss fight with and it was a helicopter, and I remember Angry Joe in his review making a big deal out of how terrible that was.
That was when you take down Colonel Bliss.
Okay.
Who is somehow became the big bad of the Division 1. Which made absolute zero sense to me. Why he became the one, you know, the main enemy. Like I understand why he was a boss. I just don't understand why they were so focused on him.
Either way, it's a bitch solo. Every mission in this game sucks solo. My biggest complaint about the Division 1 was how much health the enemies have. It is stupid.
Are we loading into something now?
It took us to World Tier 5.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of lead the way while we're talking. If I don't care if we just walk around and shoot dudes that are just hanging out, or if we go do a mission or something. I don't want to get too involved in anything, because I don't want to detract from the conversation. I don't want to get distracted too much by the game. Do I continue? If you still have part of your thought?
The end game, I don't mind the end game for Division. It got quite boring before all the DLCs, because all you're really doing is running around shooting things. And that's pretty much it. There wasn't that many secrets that you needed to find or whatnot. The PvP modes weren't like super like extraordinary. spend most of your time in a dark zone. That's about it.
Yeah.
Other than that, before the DLC, the game needed some work.
Where did you guys just go?
It really did.
We are on
The Ward safe house. Open the map. Look at the Stuyvesant.
the southeast side of the map.
There you go.
You warped somewhere? Is that what you did?
Southeast. The ward, the safe house over there.
Tenderloin, meat locker.
All the way southeast. The very, very last little corner.
I don't think I even have access to that.
Get ready.
Stuyvesant?
Head's been cut off, this dragon.
I mean, I am hovering over it. Let me see. Can I fast travel? No, I can't.
You can fast travel to the player.
Yeah, you should be able to do the fast travel
Get back! We need backup!
Where are you guys as players?
In that
There
same
you
block.
are. I see.
Yeah.
Fast travel. On my way. Confirm fast travel. Just took me back out of that when I confirmed. Maybe I don't have the expansion you're doing?
It's not an expansion.
That's not an expansion. This is all one map.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think the expansions added anything to the map.
Yes, they did.
Did they?
Yeah, the Resistance expansion.
Right.
Fast travel, confirm. Now it's
And we'll wait for
alright.
Infamous so he has some gameplay going.
Okay, Guts.
Yo.
So, did you see promotional material for the Division 1 and, like, any of the trailers, anything going on with
I
it?
saw very little promotional. Like, I'm not big on like normal TV, like cable stream. You know, I've since I got Netflix, like the year it came out with the streaming, I haven't watched like normal TV. So commercials for shit, I normally don't see unless it's big elsewhere.
Okay.
So like, I didn't see a lot of the promotional shit for the Division and all of that.
All units be advised, we've got people dealing with
So,
medical supplies.
what
and
little of it
parking
you
at
saw
20.
wasn't enough to make you want to get it, I guess, then?
It wasn't enough to make me like, ooh, cool, what the fuck is that? It's like, oh great, another Call of Duty type game.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
If
Was
only
it... Did it have
Call of Duty
anything...
wishes it was like this.
Did it have
Part of
anything
me is-
to do with Destiny? Like being like, okay, I'm gonna be so busy with Destiny, like I'm not gonna play this or whatever.
No, it really didn't. Like I said, like it was more of like, from the little bit of previews I saw, it's like, okay, it's another first-person shooter, it's another wannabe military game. Like fuck it, like I can download like Call of Duty, Battlefield, fucking Rainbow Six if I want to play something like that. Like nothing like extraordinarily called to me about it. And like now that I've looked up a story about it, it's like, oh, it actually has its own story.
Yeah.
It was more interesting, but
It's sort of in that same like lore area Destiny's at. You get cutscenes and a main mission to follow, but where everything lies sort of is in the lore, the little bits and pieces of information you pick up in the world.
What about, you were talking earlier, Crimson, about the health on the enemies. Has that ever, like, forget about Division 2. In Division 1, has that ever been really addressed, or has it been the same the entire time?
It's the same. It hasn't changed. No, I mean, health on the enemies has been adjusted here in the Division 1. But as you're going through the story, I feel like it doesn't really matter. They're always going to be some type of level ahead of you, and the game makes sure of that. We'll make sure of that.
So you can never out-level the enemies?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, you're always going to be at some kind of a disadvantage.
Thank you.
And
We need to get those meds off the
I'm
street
technically
back
going to
to the
use that
people.
loosely, because once you hit the end game, it definitely becomes a very build-heavy game.
Like
Sort of
how
where
you
Division
have
2
your
is at right
character
now.
set up makes the difference.
Yes.
Yes.
Not more so than what your character level's at.
Yeah, because once you hit level 30 and you start progressing into your gear score, that's when it kind of goes into your build and the creativity that you can come up with, or if you can find the synergy between group play. And the thing I liked about it was they have gear sets geared toward solo, and then they have geared toward group play.
Yeah, they came out with gear sets that have bonuses to them, right?
Yes.
Okay, that happened after I quit playing. So I'm kind of unfamiliar with how all that works.
That came out in 1.4, I think.
Does that sound right, Crimson?
All units be advised. Rikers spotted near the
Update 1.4?
park on Avenue C.
Yeah, that
It
brought
was
in
somewhere
the first.
there. It was somewhere between 1.2 and 1.8. So.
Well, I know 1.7 started bringing in the classifieds, if I'm not mistaken.
So then it was probably 1.5.
Okay. So
What are
I was
classifieds?
close. Classifieds are gear sets that instead of giving you a 4-piece bonus, you get a 6-piece bonus, and they're typically very strong. Like the gear set I have on right now is the D3 FNC.
I mean, I have no idea where you are, Crimson. You went so far ahead so fast. I'm with Heavy, and I don't think Heavy can find you either.
Oh, I can get to it.
Heavy can find me.
Like, did I mention I hadn't played this game in a long time? Like, it's been a year or two.
Forgive me, when you're used to something, it's just sort of like automatic. Sort of like how it is with you in Destiny. Sometimes it's hard to like explain to someone new.
Yeah.
Or someone who hasn't played in a while, and you're just sort of on autopilot.
Yeah, so, but, like, the gear sets, the D3 gear set, the 4-piece it gave you, stronger shields and stronger shield heals. Once we clear out these ads, I'll pull it up and give you the complete rundown. So,
were you guys happy with the DLC that they brought out?
Yes.
The DLCs were great. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I loved it. Survival was by far one of my favorite things to do in this game.
DLCs were absolutely amazing. There's so much that they did right with the end game for this later on that you kind of wish that they didn't deviate in the second game.
Oh my god. Yes.
And I think while you talk to us, that's what you're going to hear the most. There's so much done right in this game when it comes to endgame and everything that there was no reason for them to deviate or even take certain game modes off for the second game.
Alright, well, we'll get to that. Did you guys stay with the game all the way up until Part 2 came out? Or did you reach a point where you were like, you burned out and you're taking a break till Part 2 comes out?
I stuck with it all the way through just because, one, they were also throwing in, through certain commendations in the first game, you could unlock some skins and emotes and outfits for the second game, which kind of added a little bit of replayability as well as some fun little grind going on, depending on which one you were going for.
Heads up. We've located a Riker
So,
stronghold near the
didn't they
park
bring
first.
something similar to
Requesting backup.
Destiny raids? They were called incursions or something. What didn't they bring something? Maybe I'm using the wrong.
Yes.
Ooh, incursions.
Incursion.
We can actually do one of those if you want. Put your never die build on. They're heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do the one that we were practicing on that day.
Dragon's Den.
Yep.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, footage of an incursion.
That's cool. So what is that exactly?
Incursion, I guess you could basically sum it up as a mini raid.
Okay.
Or a dungeon, like in
Or a dungeon.
like in Destiny, for
Okay.
the Destiny heads out there.
Man, I'm hurt.
I'm out of ammo.
It's tough to fight this guy and talk at the same time. This is one of the things that always turned me off of the game.
Alert. Friendly division agent
Was
is down.
I'm dead too. I can't get you.
That's fine.
Like that guy over there. Okay, yeah, he's got a riot helmet on and stuff, but I mean, he's just a dude. You know, in
The elite?
Destiny, yeah, whatever that dude is, we're shooting the crap out of, and he just killed us. When you fight an enemy in Destiny, right? And I'm going to do a lot of that because I mean these games have been compared to each other a lot. They've been, you know, this was supposed to be like a Destiny killer, this game when it came out, and we all play. Besides Guts, we all play both games. Obviously I stopped playing Division 1 after the vanilla part of the game, after the beginning. But when I shoot an enemy in Destiny and it takes a lot of bullets, I can rationalize it. My brain can understand it because I say to myself, well, it's a big spider robot tank, or it's an enemy, not an enemy, excuse me, an alien. You know what I mean? So it's got, you know, magic, it's got darkness, whatever, it's got things going on that are beyond my understanding or whatever. There's a thematic reason why it can soak up all those bullets. When it's a human shooting another human, and you're throwing grenade after grenade, and you're dumping like 20 clips of bullets into it, that was an issue with me, a very immersion-breaking issue with me with Division 1. And one of the other things that really pulled me out of the, like, where I compared it, I couldn't help but make comparisons, was the loot. The loot for me in the Division was not as... Should I respawn, or should I just wait for you guys?
No, I'm right here.
He's here.
So don't respawn, or...
No, you couldn't. He's reviving him now.
I'm revving you
Oh,
right
okay.
now.
So... What was I saying? Oh, the loot. So in Destiny, if I get a gun from a raid, you know, like Vex Smith, I mean, not all guns are like this, obviously, in Destiny, but they exist. You know, the exotics that, oh, like Vex Smith class looks like a Vex weapon. It's like you ripped an arm off of a Vex, or you took one of their weapons. When you get, like, the... Oh, what's the grenade launcher from Scourge?
We're not chasing anything.
Anarchy, you know what I mean? That looks like you took a fallen weapon, you know? When you get the armor, it looks like you took stuff off of the enemy and just made armor out of it, you know what I mean? It's much more rewarding in the way it looks, and even in the way it shoots. The guns are, like, futuristic, they're alien, some of them, you know, they do neat things. For me, for what I like to play, I've never been like a Call of Duty, Battlefield kind of guy, so these are just like regular guns we're using in here for the most part. And you're getting, the armor you're getting is like, oh, I'm getting a set of knee pads, I'm getting a backpack, I'm getting, you know, a holster. Like, it's just not, the loot wasn't exciting. That's some of the stuff that, have you guys ever felt that way, or have you always been satisfied with the loot?
I mean, that kind of goes into build diversity.
Okay.
For the Division, I feel like it's less about the loot and more about the type of loot you can get for a specific build. In Destiny, it's all about loot. Oh, this gun is cool, it has a cool mechanic to it. Whereas this is like, how can this enhance this skill for this specific mission or this specific difficulty?
Mm-hmm.
You see, like, I don't know, like, the last time you were playing Destiny, but the armor very much matters. Like, the Armor 2.0 is exactly like that. You have to match your armor to your guns to get the best of both worlds.
Whereas that's true, I can also run in with a bunch of random shit in Destiny and still do the same amount of damage.
No.
Unless I'm like doing the weapon, not the weapons of light, the orbs of light stuff. Like, if I was to take Xenophage and just fire Xenophage, it would deal the same damage as everyone else's Xenophage, unless you have a certain buff going on from an outside source. In this game, I can put specific mods on this weapon that'll make my AR stronger than Heavy's AR. And that's the biggest difference.
Okay, but at the same time, that, like, when you're talking about an immersive game, that makes no sense. Your fanny pack makes your gun deal more damage.
Oh, I said mods on the weapon.
Well, you can mod the weapons in Destiny. You can put, you know,
to a certain degree,
taken spec, heavy spec,
that
may deal more damage.
To be fair, though,
yeah, but
to be fair, hold on one second, Heavy, because we're kind of veering off on a tangent. When I quit, I'm more or less talking about Division 1 and before, like at the point that I quit. At the point that I quit, because I brought up that's kind of the reasons I quit, there wasn't really builds that I can recall. I mean, you could go and you could modify your weapon and modify your gear a little bit, but these like gear sets and gear set bonuses and things you guys were talking about, I don't remember any of that. I don't think that was around at the time.
Well, at the time, you could still do a build. Like, you have the whole electronics, firepower, and fucking toughness stats, right? Stamina.
Okay.
There's certain gear pieces that not a part of a gear set bonus that would allow you to increase whether or not your skills would do damage, if your regular weapon would do damage, and how much damage you can tank. That's always been a thing here in the Division. It just got more inclusive with the gear set bonuses and the special armor sets that you could get, but it's always been a thing. It's just about whether or not you cared enough to pay attention enough to actually spec into those specific there's a word I'm looking for there, Heavy. Stats, yes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if
just for reference, I played 224 hours. I looked at my stats when I logged in. That's how many hours I played in the game. And I remembered, like, I heavily modified some of my guns, like my Vector. When I left, the Vector was like the thing. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And
Yeah.
Destiny 1 or Destiny, I don't remember if it was Destiny 1 or Destiny 2 at the time, but Destiny didn't have what they have now either with the armor and the loot or you know, the builds and things, but the armor and weapons were still more appealing to me.
More
on
intriguing.
Destiny. Yeah,
Yeah.
for whatever reason.
Who doesn't want this alien gun that shoots fucking fireballs out of it? It's just fucking cool, dude. And it fits with the Destiny universe, but just the same, you know, that the weapons here in the Division fit in with the Division universe. They're not meant to be interesting.
True.
Infamous. Here you go. I dropped 4 different pieces of 4 different gear sets, so you can kind of check them out.
Okay.
So you can kind of see like how they're geared towards certain playstyles and certain areas.
Speaking of which,
Browse backpack. Where the now you put
but
me on
even
the
going
spot.
back to, but even going back to like just pure customization, I can't throw a specific number or percentage based mod onto a Destiny weapon the way you can onto a Division weapon. You know, that's sort of just there for you. You get the weapon, it has a certain role, and then you can switch whether or not you get improved accuracy or like higher damage. And then it takes one stat. Yeah, you know, like this game, I can get a really crap roll another good stat onto my weapon, and then modify those weapons, and then interchange those modifications. It's a lot more intricate than Destiny is, just in terms of modification.
So Heavy, you telling me to put this stuff on? Like the blue... There's the blue stuff you dropped for me?
No, it's teal or green, like real darker green.
A paramedic backpack, a police backpack. I'm not even sure where the heck to look for it, to be honest with you.
Should have been. Well, like look in the gloves because I know I dropped like 2 sets of gloves.
Hunter's Faith gloves.
Yeah, that's one of the gear
Those are like
sets.
the number on them anyway is like the armor score is like twice what I have. Yeah, so this
Yeah,
is okay.
pop it
So
off.
see how this gives like a plus 12% to LMG damage, plus 6.5 to enemy armor damage, plus 14% critical hit damage, and then you have all kinds of stats like that on your weapons too. Like I almost felt overwhelmed. I would spend sometimes an hour, 2 hours at the home base just messing with gear and just like it's kind of like you remember in Destiny 1 when they gave us the ability to re-roll weapons for a short time.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. It was fun for a little bit, and then it was like, you know what? I don't like this. I like going out in the world and just earning a gun, and here's the gun, and if I wanted to get a better roll on it, I can go farm for a better roll. Going and like modding all the armor and all the weapons and just spending all that time sitting in your home base doing that. I don't know, that gameplay aspect of it I didn't care for too much. It just seemed like it threw too much information at me, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of hidden stats in Destiny.
Modding cars, doesn't want to mod a gun.
The cars in GTA, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
No, I mean, well, yeah, you mod the car, though, and you're done with it. In this game, for me, it was like, oh, you get the gun, okay, now you go and you get you can modify the gun because you can get a magazine, you can get a sight, you can get a this, you can get a that, and then, oh, you get gloves that make the gun do this now, and it's better, higher critical chance for that, and, you know, but then you got a better pair of gloves, and now you got a chest piece that does this, and it's like, oh my god. And it's just like, overwhelming, I guess, to me. I don't know. It's
at first it can be, you know. Like it can be insanely overwhelming when you're first getting into it.
I mean, that just reminds me of most RPGs or adventure games like Diablo, shit like that, World of Warcraft, where it's like every single thing affects everything else. And you just get used to it.
Yeah,
but
I
it's
mean,
also something
good.
To me, it's always been really fun to work on the builds, like finding. I hate saying the best, but like figuring out how I can customize this build to my playstyle, or finding my role in a group play setting based on what I have.
Yeah. I remember a lot of times I would drop that little healing station and stuff. Mm-hmm. I forget what other abilities I did. I'm not even sure what the heck I'm running right now. I was trying to look at it the other day and I don't even understand what the heck I'm looking at. Did you guys teleport again?
Yeah, we're gonna run. Apparently, we're running an incursion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do I need to teleport to you to do that, or is it gonna bring me right into it, or?
No, you can teleport. You gotta teleport to us.
All right.
In Division 2, they give you like a pop-up prompt that says fast travel to agent, but it doesn't happen for this game.
You guys went.
A new agent is joining your team.
Where?
Oh, you match made?
I did not matchmake. Is it matchmaking for us?
We got a fourth apparently.
Who the hell is Joe Thomas?
Oh, he's a friend of mine.
Mrs. Friends.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, he's a friend of mine. He actually wanted to be on the what podcast was that? The Last of Us podcast, because he had some real heated opinions about it. He was a huge fan of Last of Us 1, and he never played Last of Us 2 because he heard all the reviews and this is what the story was about. I didn't even, Joe, I'm sorry. I'm getting so wrapped up in the episode and the gameplay, I didn't even see your comments. He messaged, I want to join, I want to join.
Oh.
He plays Division 1 and 2.
Oh, add me, brother.
Joe, do you want to
Yeah.
be in the voice chat? You want to be actually on the podcast? Or I assume you're available if you're playing the game. If you do, message in the thing and I'll add you to the voice chat so you can get in on the conversation. So we talked about loot, armor, and guns a little bit. We talked about re-rolling and finding. What about you guys? How do you guys feel about well, first of all, before we get into Division 2's location, let's just talk about Division 1's. So in Division 1,
sure. Okay.
we've got, all right, let me get them in the chat. Temporary disruption in the
stream.
The stream, guys, in the video portion of it anyway. Just stand by. While I'm doing this, how do you guys feel about New York as a setting versus when you go to Destiny, you got all those different planets to explore? Do you feel like just having New York City was enough? Did it, you know what I mean? Okay. Mm-hmm. First person versus third person, military versus futuristic, like there's some differences. Aliens versus fighting regular people. You got like superpowers in Destiny. What's that? The Golden Age? Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like,
Well, it's also the fact that it's contained in the city, the settings of the city. You can have, like, Manhattan, like, the 5 boroughs New York is a huge fucking city.
yeah.
We take a little aspect of one area in Destiny, and we don't do anything with it. We have this one little part of it, and you do your little shit in the little part of it, and then you go somewhere else and have another little piece. You don't expand, like, we've never actually done anything in a full fucking city.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
we ran through the last city at the end of the Red War campaign, but that's
We went through
it.
3 neighborhoods in the last
Right.
city.
This way.
You know, we went 3 square blocks and that was it. And that was the last city. No, that was like the suburbs of the last city.
And it was so
couldn't
dope
even-
to run through it because we hear about it all the time, but we
Right.
never actually enter it.
You know,
Like,
I
they
know
could-
we're
they
getting
couldn't
a
even take
little
us downtown.
off course. I know we're getting a little tiny bit off course on that. That's because the Guardians are not allowed in the last city.
I can't go in there. That says DLC required.
They won't let you run in there.
Nope. It just spawns me back over here. It
Are
says
you kidding
DLC
me?
required. Open store.
Well, go get the damn DLC, Infamous.
Yeah, that was you gonna send me a check?
You wouldn't take it?
Yeah, that's true. I wouldn't.
Shit, I would take it. How much you offer it?
Welcome to the podcast, by the way, Joe. I'm glad you were able to make it. This was an episode I figured you definitely would want to have something to say. So, well, no, Heavy and Crimson here are avid fans, and they played Division 1 and 2, and they still play to this day. They play Destiny and the Division. Joe refuses to even try Destiny. That's been a subject we've gone back and forth about many times. Another thing, yeah. So why don't you give us a little background, Joe, on your history with this game? You started playing it from the beginning, how you felt about it in the beginning. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. You guys laugh because you agree or you disagree?
It's a bit of both for me.
Yeah, I'm right there. I like some of what they did. I hate some of what they did.
We're at the Lincoln Tunnel checkpoint.
All right.
I guess we'll just do regular missions.
Fast traveling.
I feel like Warlords added so much and added so little at the same time.
Added a lot of mechanic, technical shit, added nothing to the actual feel of the game.
Oh, they irritated the crap out of me when they took off all my DTE.
Captain Benitez requesting immediate support at the Lincoln Tunnel.
But that's the thing with Massive.
These assholes are storming the blockade. If they blow the floodgates, they can put this whole thing underwater.
And the
Granted, you can still make some pretty powerful builds. They try to balance it out, but the thing about Massive is that they've never been able to go, hey, this is enough, let's leave it here.
In just a minute.
Oh yeah, that's the meta right now.
Yeah. Nothing but shields and riot foam.
Well, every game goes through different metas. Is Division 2 been stuck on a bad meta for a long time? Is that part of the issue?
Division 2 is always on a bad meta.
Yeah.
They don't have a PvP team.
Yeah, no, Red Storm's gone.
Yeah, who's Red Storm? A studio that helped them out or something, or what?
Yeah, Red Storm is a Ubisoft studio that really was the PvP team for Div 1 and Div 2.
Okay.
And you know, that's what everybody knows.
What
said
about?
that.
Well, that's just
Said
money.
that earlier.
That's just money that drives that. That's one of the reasons that Destiny, guys behind Destiny, Bungie, got away from Activision. So now, like, right now, they would have been in Destiny 3. Like, if they were still with Activision, they would have been contractually forced to be in Destiny, to have released Destiny 3 by now. But instead, they're continuing on with Destiny 2 and making it better. How do you guys feel about the change from New York to Washington? Did it negatively affect the game, positively, or is it just not really that big of an issue either way? It's just the setting you're in, and it doesn't
I
really
hated
matter.
it.
Did you?
Yeah,
I hated it.
Not a fan of going to DC at all.
There was. For me, it was about just the lore and the story. There was no reason, at least to my knowledge, why we ended up in DC with an entirely different agent.
Oh, you don't carry over your agent from Part 1?
No, you don't.
What?
Yeah,
oh,
see?
that would have had me
See?
salty.
There was no reason for it.
Why would you create a new agent? That's just dumb.
I think I was more salty about the fact that we don't have any lore on our agent.
Like, you, in Division 1, you go through whatever DLCs, and then suddenly you're in Washington with someone completely new. What happened to my old agent?
Mm-hmm. Who you spent all this time upgrading and everything, yeah.
No, I'm firmly
Supposedly
convinced.
everybody from our wave died. Okay. BS, not the way my agent's built. Sorry.
I'm firmly convinced our agent joined Keener. Firmly convinced.
If that's the case, at least it's something. There's no explanation. We don't even know where we started out in the second game. We traveled to DC.
So would you guys say overall that Division 2 is better than Division 1, or worse, or it's kind of like a mix of the two?
Graphically, Division 2 is beautiful. But storyline-wise, it's almost an exact rehash, just with a different style of faction and less explanation.
We are division agents, and we have eliminated the threat.
Oh, and more Keener.
And more Keener.
Keener
God,
was the
'cause we all
main
wanted
villain
that.
from part 1?
No.
No, the main villain from part 1 was Bliss.
Okay. So who's Keener?
Keener was the first rogue agent.
Ah, okay. Was he the one that spread the virus?
No, that was Gordon Amherst.
Okay, alright. I spent so
And
long,
it
I don't
wasn't
really
even on
remember.
purpose.
Yeah, it was.
Was it on purpose?
Yeah, he wanted to, Amherst was basically an eco-terrorist.
Oh, I remember this. We have to defend this now.
He thought there were too many people on Earth, so he 3D printed the dollar flu to wipe out 95% of the Earth's population.
How would you compare the loot in the Division Part 2 versus the Division Part 1? That's something I want to do.
That's
a tough one.
Yeah. I mean, the RNG is still shitty.
I noticed a lot more gold things dropping for me since I've been on here.
I'm on World Tier 5.
Nah, I was telling them how many hours I've got. 224 hours in. That's not 3 weeks. I mean, I was 1 trophy away from platining the game. All I had to do was get a couple more rogue agents. How did you guys platinum? Any of you? Do you care about that kind of thing? Not that that's necessarily a measure of...
The only games I've ever only cared about platinum was the Infamous games and Prototype. That's it. Division is one of those games. Are there PvP specific trophies for the Division?
Yes.
There are, right?
Rogue agents. You gotta kill rogue agents.
Then I definitely didn't care about platinum the trophy.
Okay. Joe, would you consider yourself a PvP or a PvE player, or like just both? You don't really necessarily lean one way or the other.
Damn it. Oops.
Yep. That damn chicken dance.
I remember the main thing I remember, people just dodge rolling a lot when you would shoot at them. There's like a cooldown on it now?
It's like 1.5 seconds or something. You can't just get up and then immediately dodge roll again right after.
Gotcha.
It's more realistic, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, in the middle of a gunfight, you ain't gonna be dodge rolling at all, like, for the most part anyway. Like, most people are just gonna, okay, look for cover, peek in and out of cover, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just not realistic. For PvP? Or for PvE, or both?
Everything.
Oh, dude. Server-wide manhunts.
Dude, those were fun.
Those were all run and gun. Nobody stopped.
They don't care who they kill to get what they want. Come on up, and I'll meet you in the control center.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you don't even have to. You don't even stop.
What power?
You always felt like you were up against it, like you weren't, your character was weak.
It was right before the 10.0 update.
Yeah.
9.0. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that
Taking my toys and
pendulum,
going home, huh?
That pendulum swift that Massive is famous for.
Right, this is exactly what I continuously say. Like, there's never a, okay, this is enough for Massive. If my gun is running, I don't know, let's say 5 million damage for an AR, and they're like, okay, that's overpowered. They will nerf that AR that does 5 million damage to 200,000. And then it's too much of a nerf.
Yeah, look what they did to the M1.
That was the wrong one.
I love my shield 6-piece. Well, oh yeah, if it's built specifically for the PvP, oh yeah, the D3 set is just disgusting. Yeah. Yeah, that... They nerfed poor Striker into the ground. Wasn't Hunter's Faith, was it? Oh, it's a blood. Oh god, yeah.
Nomad's armor is shit right now.
Would you say that the loot has gotten better throughout the history of the game, like even into Division 2, or has it stayed like around the same quality? Like, are you more excited by the new stuff?
Alright, right now, in update 10.1, they updated loot drops and the roles the loot come with because of the complaints about loot. There's no reason why we run a legendary mission for like the best of the best agents there, and you get little to no drops, or you get loot that makes no sense. Like, if I'm running on a U, I should be getting my skill damage and skill heals. There's no reason that should come with armor regeneration, critical hit chance, and low skill build with, I don't know, perfectly planted or something on it. It just makes no sense.
I mean,
that's the thing, they fixed that. They made sure that you can get loot that's typically over 75% rolls in terms of gear power, so you'll probably get like damn near max rolled stats for your gear or weapons. And at that point, it's just hoping that you get the right everything else on it.
let's see. I can, like, even without playing it, I can understand what he's saying though, because like with D1, the biggest thing in vanilla was you sat there, you did that strike, you didn't have the gear to fight it for. You sit there, you go through it forever, you finally get that drop, you see your first purple drop, yes, legendary gear, I'm a Titan, and it's for a fucking Warlock, and you're like, what the fuck? I just wasted all my time doing this for something I can't even use.
So the RNG is still there, just like it was, and like it is in Destiny for the loot drops, and sometimes it can be shitty. Is what you're saying?
RNG just hates me. He hates me.
That's a yes.
Agreed.
I can confirm.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I need that.
So
I mean, it's
getting the loot has gotten better. You're saying but through updates and DLC? No? Okay. Mm-hmm.
they did institute something to that effect, but now it's more along the lines of through the projects. Like I know that you can get the exotic cash from.
Forgive me,
Yeah,
fellas.
they
I'm gonna
are.
use the bathroom on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the projects are stupid, and the exotic cash you get through that one is through the shade requisition, which you have to dump crafting materials and one of your resources into. On Division 1? The house. Yep. There isn't.
Why isn't there? Yep, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. I'm not disagreeing with you at all.
Hold on 1 second, Joe, because I think we just made a real big goof. I forgot to ask you to set your voice to share. So everything you've been saying up to this... Oh, you did it? Alright,
He's
I'm going
on point.
to double check that. I'm going to go off mic for a second.
This game gets you heated there, Joe. This discussion. The Division gets me heated. There's so much potential for it, though. That's the thing. Division 2 has all of the
It's
makings
always
to
a
have
hard
something
place
great.
when you love a game and they fuck it up, and you want to love it, but you can't.
That sounds very familiar.
But yeah.
But they're just trying to make it more fun and fair to the new players to be able to catch
They're
up.
not even trying to do that. I'm sorry.
They don't even give a. They don't care about.
I totally
players.
agree with you on those cases, but that's the spiel you always hear.
Joe,
And they're wrong.
your voice isn't coming through on the stream. You gotta go in the chat right now, like the voice chat that we're in, the party chat, and there'll be an option for voice sharing, and you click share, allow your voice to be shared. That's how you share your voice. You can click always share or just share for this party. But up to this point, nobody's heard you in the episode. That's my fault for not checking, double checking that.
Fuck.
Sorry, man. I'm still new at the whole podcast game, man. Let me as soon as you're ready, let me know, and I'll mute myself again and listen to the stream and see if I can hear your voice.
Krim, does he know about our first adventure into this?
I'd rather not talk
should
about that. Thank you.
Should be good.
So, like, this may be a weird question for y'all, since y'all are all seeming like y'all really liked it and then 2 fucked it up. What would they have to change to make you want to buy 3?
New publisher.
It
New
better
developer.
look like 1.
New developer.
Like, I'll tell you straight up, if Massive has anything to do with a Division 3,
Right.
it's going to suck.
What they would have to do for Division 3 for me to buy it, I don't care if it's Massive or whoever. Everybody has the potential to fuck up. What I want is for them to listen to the core players. We all here in the division pretty much agree on the same damn things.
Right.
To make the game better.
Crimson, I don't want to...
For Division 2, they even put a special group together
I gotta interrupt you for a
to
second.
consult about what do players want, what do players like. And they had them working with the devs to make things better and completely ignored them.
You guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you, Crimson. Joe, because I want to get
Just
this...
completely ignored them. It was like, hey, we want you guys here. We want your input.
I
And
gotta make sure Joe's voice is coming through.
Yeah.
Joe,
We don't care about it.
because as soon as I said let me go listen, everybody else started talking and Joe shut up. So I can't check.
I think that's
to
one
see
of the
if
few
his voice-
times that I was like, Epic, you were completely right for not joining them because you felt like they weren't going to value your opinion.
Can you hear Infamous? Are you fucking with him?
Joe, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right. Just, I don't care what you say. I don't care if you sing your ABCs. Talk for a second so I can check the audio, please. Thank you.
Just say fuck, fuckity, fuck, fuck, fuck. That's what I make everyone say.
I'm not gonna say that.
Damn it.
Yeah, I'm just not.
Hey, Heavy, I finally got an LMG that's worth it.
Oh, nice.
They just need to make it more like the first one, dude. The second one just doesn't have it.
I mean,
All right, it's working. I apologize.
everybody cried for survival. You remember that? Like, we want survival back. Everyone remember that? And then
I
it was like,
remember that.
no, you can't have it back. We don't care if our entire fan base wants it back. Fuck you guys.
But
Oh,
now we're getting skyscraper
okay.
mode.
what is skyscraper? Like, I don't have an apt definition of what that is.
We
The
lost
rumor.
Joe.
No, I'm just switching. I'm going to a different
okay.
character. The rumor is it's 100 floors of enemies, and you gotta go one by one and clear them. So I guess it's kind of like resistance.
Agent has left your team.
That's what it sounds like more than anything. Is it basically just another resistance mode?
Vertical dungeon mode.
Whatever
Yeah?
kind of weird name you want to make up. Did this game has the game? Second one just doesn't. Doesn't have.
So, like, for a player who hasn't touched either one, is it worth even trying to get into it at this point, or just let it die?
I mean, the first one's great, dude, but you're gonna have a hard time finding people to play with. It's mostly gonna be a solo adventure for you, which is fine.
It was a solo adventure when everyone was playing.
See, I never had a problem finding people to play with.
I'll bully Infamous into playing with me.
See, I
What,
just
on here?
I've been
No.
trying for years.
I just ran solo because I enjoyed it.
Yeah, but you can't really run incursion solo. You can't.
No,
do
you
the
can't.
harder content solo.
But
One
getting
thing
through
down.
story,
Getting through the story solo sucks.
It kinda does. I mean, I don't know. For me, it did. I mean, I played the story 4 times. I got 4 maxed out characters. It was interesting.
It's sort of like, this is where I'll make a Destiny comparison.
Uh-huh.
For New Light players, you log into the game, you go through your first mission, and then you get something like 60 quests or something like that,
Yeah.
with no indication of you being able to play through the original story mode for the game. You just have to wander to Amanda Holiday and collect them. It's a lot for a new player
It
to
doesn't
come into
hold
games
the
like these.
hands of a new player good. is what you're saying.
And at this point, especially Destiny. Playing solo in this game is like receiving all of those quests at once and then some for the story mode.
So it's even worse than how Destiny's at with that.
it's just so hard. Like I said earlier, all of the enemies are always going to be above your level. And they're all going to stay tanky.
You hear that, Agent? You're walking into the teeth of
Well,
it.
to me, the best part of this game is from level 30 to you get all your builds maxed out. That's the best part.
Right, endgame.
The story's not really all that great, and it is very difficult sometimes if you're by yourself. But once you hit 30 and you can start making legit builds and collecting pieces, that's when it shines. And once you collect everything, then it's, you know, going rogue or killing rogues till you're bored with it, and then you're just kind of done.
Server-wide manhunt.
Plenty of those. So you run up on 4 nomads or something.
Yeah. Yeah. The 4-stack nomads were never a good time.
Especially if they're not even playing as a team, they're just playing together.
Yeah.
It is terrible.
That's why I hated seeing that shit on PC when I played.
Well, I mean, this game did have a lot of flaws. The Chronos Max really kind of screwed up the PvP for a long time.
That's the thing about the Division. It's always had a lot of ups and downs. And that's because whoever works in this game, as you're going to repeatedly hear, swings the pendulum too far in either direction.
Do you feel like that with
This
Destiny
game
at
found
times?
some kind of balance by the miracle of gods. I don't know.
Do you
But
feel
when
like
you get into in-game stuff, you gotta have a dedicated crew. I feel like.
Do you feel like that's similar to the way Destiny does it, where
There's
people
not
complain?
much about this game that, like, I love it, and I can't explain why I love it, but I hate it so much.
The first one?
All of them. Like, I will play the Division to the end of the time. I'll get frustrated with it, I'll get mad at it, it'll beat me up, it'll bruise me, and I will come back to it every time. I've uninstalled both of these games, Division and Division 2, so many times.
And when they do, they're gonna kill every last refugee.
But I'm playing them.
Don't operate like that. You get an uninstall from me, you're done.
You're talking about balance. Do you mean like how the meta in Destiny 2?
And I'm not sure if it's just because I'm having fun playing with friends, or because I really like the gameplay, and maybe both. I really like the gameplay from the Division. There's not much I can say about it.
Crimson, can you hear me?
Crimson, can you hear Infamous talking to you?
I cannot hear Infamous talking to me.
Okay, that explains
No, he
it.
can't.
I was just starting to think to myself, is he being rude? Like, what's going on here? Like,
I was wondering myself a little bit.
yeah,
Like,
alright, let
can't
me
hear
go
each
off
other.
to the side, and I'm going to leave the chat and rejoin it.
He can't hear me?
I can hear
No.
you, you can't hear... Well, duh. Tell him what's going on. Alright, where the heck did everybody go now?
Yeah, there we go. I hear him now.
Cool, cool. Where the heck did you guys go?
Just said you want to wait. I'll run back.
One thing I had just tried to say that you didn't hear apparently, we were talking about balance in Division, and you're saying they keep swinging the pendulum back and forth, right? Do you feel that's comparable? So I have an idea what you're talking about. Crimson, come here. I'm right here.
Okay, Agent.
to the way meta swings in Destiny, PvE and PvP when weapons get nerfed and buffed and when new ones get introduced. Yeah, like even the classes and subclasses get nerfs, and sometimes we feel like it's too much. Would you say it's similar to that, worse than that, better than that?
It's worse than that. Like, the only thing I can compare that is as bad as how Massive swings the pendulum here in the Division is how badly they nerf the Warlock in general in Destiny, and I haven't done anything about it since.
What specific subclass of the Warlock, or what?
Just everything about the Warlock. For instance, we had Nova Warp. Oh, it was overpowered, and now it lasts for like 5 seconds, and you can't really damage anybody with it.
Okay.
You can get shot out of it in PvP. And in PvE, yeah, you could use it, but you take way too much damage in your super. You know, you have bottom tree, top tree, Dawnblade, and yeah, those things are great, but those don't last long either. And they're not necessarily the highest damaging supers in the game. You have the Well that can be destroyed. You have the Nova Bomb that can be shot and destroyed before it reaches anybody. You know, the only thing powerful about the Warlock is their abilities, but even then, you gotta live long enough in order to get those off.
Are you a Warlock
I love
main,
my Warlock.
Or?
I am a Warlock main.
Okay, so as am I. I'm finding this very interesting.
It's really odd. Like, the first time I saw that the Nova Bomb could be destroyed was I was doing the end quest for Thorn, I think it is, where you're doing like the reprised Sabathun song.
Yeah.
And
Chasm of
Screams.
Yeah.
And my Nova Bomb got destroyed by the ogres over there before it even reached them. And it repeatedly happened. In PvP, if they shoot your Nova Bomb before it hits them, it can be destroyed before it hits your opponent.
It takes a lot to pop the Nova Bomb, though.
It's happened.
I mean, I know it's happened, but like I can say the same thing with Titans. Like, we can be shot out of Code of the Missile. We can be shot out of any super. Like, they nerfed all the armor on all the supers.
Yeah, roaming supers in general got nerfed. I feel like I don't want to get too caught up in Destiny or in the different classes, but I do feel like PvE suffers for PvP, and whenever anybody's like, okay, I main Warlock, so I feel the Warlock nerfs more than I feel the nerfs on the other classes. Like, I didn't even have a Hunter and a Titan for the longest time until recently. So
yeah, but you know, with the way Massive handles balancing is, just imagine every class getting the Warlock nerfed.
Okay.
And the enemies, the NPCs, are the hunters who get everything.
Do they do they nerf because of PvP and it affects PvE negatively, or is it just in general, like, they nerf for everything, or what?
I feel like it most certainly is a PvP problem, but
I don't even think it's a PvP problem. I think it's just they're watching the data and they're seeing that, oh, well, you know, everybody's running the M1A, and we don't like that, but instead of doing a small incremental balance nerf to make the M1A on par with other rifles, they just go, we're just going to send the M1A straight to hell.
In the TU9 update, they did a silent decrease for the M1A by 50%.
Yeah, they did a stealth buff to a weapon and got called out on it.
That should do it, Agent. Solid work.
So they force meta change by nerfing the shit out of stuff. Destiny does a lot of that too. I don't know. You're saying it's worse on here though, because you guys play both.
PvP and Destiny and Division are so different.
Yeah, they're
if I'm
different, but
the M1A here, and it's mostly a PvE weapon, right? So you're gonna stealth. You're gonna go ahead and not even tell players that you're debuffing it. You're nerfing the damage by 50 fucking %. but then you're gonna buff all SMGs and a weapon you, as Massive Entertainment, want to see do better. And you're gonna buff that by 60%. Now everybody's running that. There's no balance. Like right now, you got the shield meta going on in fucking Division 2. Shields are so overpowered. Haven't you made a shield build recently? Tell them about it.
You know, like, if you think that the shield build or the shield gear set in Div 1 was a pain in the ass, it's 10 times worse in Division 2 right now. They even nerfed the gear set that you get from the raid to make it less, what did they say? Make it less troublesome, basically, by nerfing the armor regen. But you can still riot foam somebody, stick them to the ground, which is the equivalent of the shock turret in Division 1, and then just burst them down with an SMG. Run nothing but high armor as a core attribute and critical hit chance and critical hit damage. With a shield and PvP, you become invincible.
Gonna run the legendary, boys.
Huh.
But that's the thing that we gotta give Division 1 credit for, because almost everything has a way to combat it. Now if it works like it's supposed to, that's a different question. But there's supposedly a way to combat it. Like if you look where Division 1 is after 1.8, the PvE is perfect. Like, what's wrong? There's nothing wrong with the PvE. And in my opinion, the only thing wrong with the PvP is Nomad, Defense, Striker, and Predator. If you just remove those four from PvP, you'd have a pretty balanced PvP game.
Yeah, you really would.
Those are the OP ones. There's no way to combat Nomad. You know, Predator is supposedly the healing station, but it just always seems to kill you no matter what.
I'm gonna step away for a second, guys. You keep talking. Sorry, Joe. Right back.
Now you just get rid of those 4 on PvP. You got a pretty solidly balanced game with options.
I would wholeheartedly agree with that statement.
The one thing that I liked in 1. I don't know if it was 7 or 6, was that the skills were actually as powerful as the weapons. Like, you could die from someone's fire turret if they had 10k skill power. It would mow you right down.
Yeah.
And they tweaked that back.
Skills is such a sore topic.
Are you one of those people that doesn't think skills are useful, or doesn't like playing with skills? Or
No. I really love my skill builds. Division 2. They just messed it up so bad.
That's what I'm saying. They took everything great about the first one and didn't use any of it.
Yeah, and all that supposed talk they were giving us about, oh, we learned from our mistakes in Division 1.
Prove it.
No, they did learn. They learned that this was not the game that they wanted to make.
What are you talking about? Their game is working as intended.
You know, sometimes they forget to do the math. And you remember that, Krim.
This game is a beautiful accident. They had no intentions of making it like this, but the way that it turned out, I mean, we all really enjoy it, and it's pretty evident because we're still playing it, and we're not. Well, I'm not playing the second one. I don't know about y'all.
Yeah, I used to play the second one.
Yeah.
I played it for about 2 months or whatever till Warlords, and then that just ruined it for me. It took away all the build diversity, the thing that I like the most.
Correction. They made it build oriented. Now you have a set role.
No, I'm even talking
set role.
I'm talking about the talents. When I could make a build and have 6 active talents on all my pieces, and you know, have it put together just that way. That was something I enjoyed. Now it's only 2. And they don't even pair up well. You can't even get Wicked and Creeping Death on the same build because they're only on the backpack. Stupid.
This is true.
They ruined the diversity to me. It was way more diverse before. It took forever to make a build. Not going to front, it took forever.
It still does.
But
But it was more worth the time back then.
Yes.
When you made it, you were like, yeah. Now what? And it's just not. To me, it's not like that at all anymore. I despise it.
That's a legendary, fellas.
Oh, cool.
That's why I put on the Reclaimer.
Never die build.
Yep.
Oh, where you going, shotgun? Hey, what's up, guys?
Oh, ow.
Well, I'm out of talking points, guys, because my familiarity with the game is lacking. You know, because when I tapped out so long ago, kind of asked everything I had to ask.
So
Is there anything you guys want to throw back and forth?
Well, we've talked a lot about the Division 1, and sort of dabbled comparatively into Division 2. But focusing on a Division 2 here. From launch, from the beta, what are some changes that you feel like were great from the Division 1 to Division 2? And from, I would say, from the 1.0 update to the TU update 9, what have been your least favorites? I have words, they're there, but they don't exist.
This particular moment, eh?
I definitely do appreciate the graphical upgrade.
Oh no, my shield. Oh,
I do. Oh crap! You're too far, Joe. I tried to signature skill help, but
I'm stuck on the stairs. Oh well.
Like, I didn't play the game for Division 2 when it was released, when it was first released for the demo. You did, Heavy. You and Eric.
The beta?
and I did love the whole specialization. I thought that was kind of a cool little thing they did.
Right.
What I absolutely despise, especially now, is the fact that I didn't realize my lunchbox is down. What I absolutely hate is the fact that they have made the signature weapons completely useless.
Thought they always been that way.
Not really, because like when the game first launched and you first got it, you know, depending on which one you picked, it was actually pretty useful. Like the grenade launcher was the fucking king for a good while.
Okay, but here's my thing with the grenade launcher. Because I used to have the mortar build. God, it was one of my favorite builds. I could kill a yellow bar in 2 mortars, but I could shoot 6 grenades out the grenade launcher at a yellow bar and it wouldn't even kill it. So I was like, what was the point?
I was able to do it in 2 grenades.
Well, it might have been after a patch that I didn't play.
It might have been, but
You know.
now they've gotten it to where your signature weapon, nobody even pulls it out anymore.
You can't even use it in the Dark Zone anymore, can you?
No, they
you
nerfed
can't.
that because people were complaining.
So what's the point? Well, what's the point of even having it? For me, it restricted builds. Like, you know, Division 1 gives you the ultimate freedom. You can make any kind of build and it'd be viable. Whether it's an all exotic build, whether it's gold, whether it's classified, whatever. Whether it's 3 and 3 with a ninja. But
yes.
Division 2 just always tries to keep you in a certain lane. Like, now we're giving you skill trees. You can only do this. You can't run this with this because it makes too much sense. It's just so restrictive, and it just has always felt that way to me. It's one of the reasons I just couldn't play it anymore.
Right.
Yeah, and I get you.
I mean, am I wrong? Has something changed in the 2 months, 3 months I haven't played?
No, nothing's changed. If anything, it's gotten worse.
Well, you know, final update 10.1 drop. Loot drops changed. I will say the loot drops are better. You get higher rolls.
But even then, that's very not where it's not where it needs to be though. You know, granted, you know, 10.1 they were like, well, your gear's gonna roll at a total of 60%, as opposed to with everything else where RNGs just took the wheel and could either bless you greatly or send you straight to the depths of the underworld.
Oh, RNG just hates me, man. Don't even mention him.
Underworld.
He's not my savior.
You're still salty about that Lady Death, aren't you?
No, I'm not. I think it's bullshit. Wait, oh. At some point, Lady Death was dropping in the. Oh wow. Okay. Well, I'm dead.
No, you're not.
Lady Death was dropping in a dark zone, and he got it in the first 10 minutes, and it took me, I think, 2 hours to get it.
About that.
Because I was in there prior to you, wasn't I?
Yep.
What fun.
I know those feelings. I've been doing this all day and I'm still waiting. I've been here 5 minutes, got mine, I'm out.
Yeah, raid loot. Me and Guts seem to have problem with that in Destiny 2. We'll take people through raids all the time, and they'll get it on their first or second raid. And here we are, raid number 40, and still don't have it.
Oh man, that's what it is. Like to get the exotic from the Riven raid.
Yeah, 1K.
1K?
Yeah, I still don't have it. It's the only raid I've completed more than anything else, and like
they added a system to it that like almost guarantees it after so many runs.
Yeah, it keeps increasing your drop chance. I really prefer though when they do exotics for raids, like high level activities like that, where it's based on a mission. So if you're good enough to do all the requirements and complete the mission and stuff, you get the exotic. So it's more skill than it is just RNG. You know, oh, I have to complete it 100 times, 200 times, 300, and just keep on hoping it's gonna drop. You know?
Well, Jesus. Div 2 attempted that with its second raid. And from what I'm seeing, not a lot of people are really happy with the way that they're working these raid exclusive exotics.
Well, I think in a game like The Division, nothing should be raid exclusive.
I agree.
There's just some players who are not up to snuff. Sorry.
So then they're at a disadvantage in PvP because they couldn't get something in a raid, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
It's not even being at a disadvantage in PvP. I mean, for the most part, it's even being a disadvantage in PvE.
Yeah. Well, you could make the same case with raid exotics in Destiny, and only, I don't know if you're aware of this, only like 20% of Destiny's player base completes raids.
Mm-hmm.
But,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Stupid.
And they can't, so they can't get all those extra pinnacle drops every week. They can't get the what do you call it, the raid exotics, you know?
That percentage is actually even lower in Division 2. For the ones that do raids.
For Operation Iron Horse, me and Heavy tried to two-man the first area. We got a decent distance, I guess.
Not as good as our Dark Hours.
But Dark Hours we did fine. But all of that's a severe DPS check, and one that really sucks.
Yeah.
In Destiny, you can have one player that does bad and still manage to sort of, you know, finagle your way through it.
Not as
in
much
a Division.
in
not
Destiny.
in 2.
Yeah, not as much in D2 because of the res tokens. With the res token systems now, if somebody's down and you don't get them up, or you run out of tokens because people keep dying, that's it. You're done. You gotta wipe.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah.
But even the
But
mechanics
what I was-
wise,
what I
like
was
if
gonna
one
say
person
was-
fucks up, the team is dead.
Yeah.
Like they took out like D1, you used to be able to carry 1 or 2 people and just make up their shit. D2, they got rid of that.
What I was going to say was that if one person here in the division doesn't have adequate enough damage, you can't complete an encounter. Period.
Okay.
Doesn't matter if he dies or lives or whatever. If he doesn't have the DPS, that's it.
Why is that?
Because Massive doesn't know how to design raids.
Huh.
Alright. Let's describe the first boss for Operation Dark Hours.
Okay, I love this part of the game, guys.
Boomer?
Go ahead, Heavy.
Yeah, Boomer.
Boomer.
Let's talk about Boomer. Boomer is a complete and utter asshole. His mechanic is one person has to aggro him from the front and shoot his chest, where there is a healing mechanism. The rest of the team has to deal with all the ads, while a secondary person is on a minigun shooting Boomer's back. When Boomer drops to a knee, you can DPS him.
Gotta get that medic.
I'm trying to get that lunchbox, but I can't get a good angle on it.
Yeah, continue.
So, when he goes down to a knee, everybody needs to focus fire on his fucking head, basically, because headshots are it. Now, once his damage phase is over, you lather, rinse, and repeat. However, if the person who's not aggroed is not doing their job and shooting his chest, he's gonna heal completely back up.
He's chasing you around. There's a mechanic where you gotta get on the turrets. And,
Shoot the force fields that make enemies invulnerable.
Yep. And once you have those down, there's a mechanic in the middle that'll pop up Alpha, Delta, Charlie, or whatever. And you have to go and turn off monitors or some shit to keep the enemies from going invulnerable again. If you miss that, the enemies will go invulnerable because the shield generators come back up. Then you gotta get on the target. The turret, shoot. It's such a pain in the ass.
So you would say it's
The only way to
more-
beat that.
Is it more mechanically difficult than Destiny 2 raids, or is it just more frustrating and poorly designed, or what?
Both.
He answered for me.
Have you played all the Destiny 2 raids? Just out of curiosity?
I've played all of them.
Okay.
I haven't peed all of them, but I've played all of them.
Okay.
I will take a Destiny 2 raid over either of the Division raids.
Quick side note, whatever we're playing, I think I am really not like geared out or leveled up for this. I am barely the first part here felt like I was doing alright. We got into that area where we just died, and I'm like throwing a slingshot at these guys, like I'm not doing nothing.
Oh, this is legendary, so
Yeah, this
This
is in-game
is
activity.
difficult.
This is
not for
like
level
a-
17s.
Is this like a Grandmaster Nightfall on Destiny, or like that level of difficulty, or what?
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Things like this to make the game fun for me. Just a challenge.
Yeah, we've been trying to work on the Grandmasters. People's
Our third is
schedules
never
have been
available.
really difficult. What's that, guys?
Our third is never available when we want to
Yeah,
do it. Or only for 30 minutes at a time.
Uber's schedule has been frustrating, and my schedule has been a little off too. And just trying to get it going has been frustrating. But go ahead, back to Division. I don't want to stray too far.
No, man, it's okay. Wow. Okay, Agent, just yeet yourself off the edge.
You're going in, man. Like, I got this, guys.
I hit no type of circle.
Leroy
He just-
Jenkins. Yep.
But and that's just the first encounter of the first raid. you know, the mechanics for the bosses as you progress through the raid just get more and more ridiculous. You know, the second boss in the raid takes place in a hangar, and you have to balance out some gases that will, one side will get a damage buff or a damage dealt buff, and the other side will get a damage taken debuff. And then when the boss decides he's gonna yeet himself down from on high, he's got two mini boss minions, and all of them have the exact same minigun that the first boss had.
Oh man, it's just so dumb. It's so tough. Just badly designed.
Behind you, Heavy.
Okay, well, let me pose a question to you.
Yes.
If the build diversity was better, and you had actual healer builds and real med kits, would it really be as bad?
Yes.
I have a healer build. I had one when the build diversity was up.
Okay.
That was pretty damn powerful. It didn't matter.
Did your healer build heal like a Division 1 healer build? No.
It's pretty good, yeah.
No. You couldn't shoot heals at people. It wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Like a healer build on Division 1 is just different. It's built specifically to heal.
No.
That's what I've spec'd into, specifically to heal. Even now, like, my healing build is amazing. I mean, Heavy was able to tank quite a few shots there on Legendary under my healing, which is godly impressive in Division 2.
Yeah, you're at such a disadvantage when it comes to the damage you can take in Division 2 versus the damage you can take in Division 1.
Yeah, but you have to be built for it. You know what I'm saying? If your health and armor are not where they should be. Like on Division 2, whatever the minimum amount of armor was up to Warlords, that's all I ever ran. I never ran any more than that.
That's one of my biggest complaints about the Division 2. The minimum armor, I think now is like, what, 900,000?
No, 700.
700,000?
That's what it was before. And every one of my builds, that was all I used. I've never used any more than that.
Rocking 1.7 million armor is nothing on Legendary. They two-shot you. If that.
Yeah,
that was one of my original turnoffs. It was almost impossible to play by yourself. No matter what your numbers were.
It's impossible to play by yourself. Past challenging.
Still get two-shot. And I hated it.
Remember the shotgunners that would snipe you from across the damn map and headshot you and kill you and one-tap you?
Yeah, I remember those.
Well, I mean, those were on this too. Let's not act like they weren't here in the beginning.
Yeah, I remember
shotgunners. They were actually worse in Div 2 because they took cover.
They were bad.
Yeah, that's just bad. It's just bad.
They would take cover and like headshot you from the goddamn Lincoln Memorial while you're at the White House.
Huh.
It's so bad, man.
And that's not even joking.
I know it was bad, man. If it wasn't bad, I'd still be playing it. But...
And the snipers that could blind fire and snipe you with 100% accuracy. Division 2 is great.
Yeah, they definitely had hella good names. I do remember that.
But I don't think we have any more talking points here. Infamous is just going to be us complaining.
Okay. Joe, I'm glad you were able to make it for an episode. Yeah, one eternity later. Joe, I'm glad you were able to make it for an episode. I wish Sirius could have been here too. He had company. I got to tease him about. He's missed more
Every
episodes
podcast.
than he's made so far. That's why I'm busting his chops. Heavy, thank you for joining us as well as a guest.
Yep.
Anytime
no
you want
problem.
to come back, if the subject
Nice to meet you.
of that evening is something you're interested in, feel free to jump in with Crimson. Just Crimson can let you know, and you can hop in and join in the conversations.
Sounds good to me.
Joe, you know,
Unless
your door's
Crimson is
always
blowing
open.
up his house again.
Of course.
My wife, man.
I didn't want to put her on the spot, man.
I put her all the way on the fucking spot because we wouldn't have these issues.
So, does anybody want to plug any socials before we call it, or? I know Crimson
yeah. Go check out the Some Salty Gamers podcast. It's over there on YouTube at Some Salty Gamers Official. We pretty much do more or less the same, except our topics don't rotate between gaming and serious topics. We sort of just flap about like a bunch of assholes. You can also check out my Twitch at Crimson_Waters and all of the socials at DODETSUK, though that's okay. That's all I got.
Heavy, you got anything you want to plug?
Not really. I tend to be me and just keep to myself.
Alright. Joe?
You can also catch him on Some Salty Gamers with me.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be a surprise.
It's me, bitches.
Alright. Well, that's another episode in the bag. For anybody that joined, thanks for joining. Next week, come back Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern, as always, where next week we'll be talking about GTA Online's new summer DLC, the Los Santos Summer Special DLC. And the other half of the episode, we will be talking about Destiny's disappointing, in my opinion, and frustrating Solstice event.
Wow, already plugging your opinion.
Thanks for watching.